and giving him no space, right? You'll be all right. And that's honestly where I make it really, really hard for guys to finish. It's because they'll get in, and I crowd, and I stay tight. I don't give them a whole lot of space to work. This say he starts to back away. I crowd, he wants to hit the quarter. Boom, I'm in, my hips are in. Right? Guys feel threatened by this, they start to back up again. Go to a regular sprawl again. So I'll play this little give and take game where I feed hips to threaten. It's almost like a bluff. Right? Feed hips, pinch his head, tight to his chest. He gets uncomfortable, he gives me the space, I re-release my sprawl. Feed hips, re-release sprawl. Feed hips, re-release sprawl. And so I'll just do that over and over and over again in these positions. And so I'll shoot the single leg, boom, I'm here, threatening the head pinch, he sags his hips away, boom, re-release sprawl. If not, if he keeps going, then I'm just gonna take it. Okay? Any questions? Awesome, ready, 1, 2. That's gonna rotate up. So we've got a single leg, this knee closes, this one rotates up, and as it rotates up, I'm pulling his body into my hips. And as I pull this into my chest, I'm applying pressure with my hips too. Okay, so he gets this single leg, wrestling, boom, I'm here. Okay? If he wants to bail, boom, I re-release my sprawl. If he doesn't want to bail, here, taking my legs back, boom, knee in. I'm threatening his head with my hips here. I'm making him uncomfortable on purpose. Okay? If he keeps coming, I'm going to throw that knee and slide him between his legs. If he stops coming, okay, I can feel him going away already. Boom. Re-release sprawl. Chest wrap ankle, or regular girlfriend. Okay? But this leg that he has, that single leg, it's the one that's rotating up. So as I close this hip to meet his shoulder, and I use this knee and leg to cover it, I'm going to rotate the single leg, the leg that he has, and it's going to pivot up, knee towards the ceiling. And as I do this lock isn't passive. I don't just have a lock just to have a lock. I have a lock to pull him up into my hips because that means less space. If this is passive, he still has space to move here in this position. If I'm not using my arms, he can still circle. Oh. So I need to use my arms to get my hips involved and keep everything tight. So as he keeps trying to circle, I can just drive this knee through, pop him through, or as I threaten this, he starts to bail, re-release sprawl, chest wrap ankle. Okay, so which leg is the one that's rotating up? The one that he has. When we rotate up, what are we making sure we do? With our arms. Boom. Now we just play this game here, right? He keeps wrestling. Boom, let's say he slides down to an ankle. Beautiful. Transition to that cross ankle scramble. I want to come up to my knees right away because now I take the pressure off. I want to keep the pressure constant. Boom. So what I'll do is I'll keep this leg long the way Pat likes to teach it is. I'm going to use this leg, and this leg is going to pull me around. Okay? So let's say he takes a shot, boom, stuff to the side, sprawl. Even if my hips are a little high, that's fine. Sometimes I'll lock both my hands and say start to build up. And I'll pull this into my chest and throw my hips in, let go, look for this hamstring, start going around. And this is really, really heavy. And it's super annoying to do. Okay? So, are there any any questions right now? Right? So one thing that I used to really love to do is off this chest wrap exercise, he would take a single leg to this side, stuff the head. As the lock would break, if he started to back up, I would just slide up. And if he didn't start to back up, right here, my hips are a little high, so I lock my hands, come here, lock breaks, and again, this foot stepping up, and I'm curling my heel, and I'm pulling my body in. And as I slide around, this hand's gonna switch from this deep tight waist chest wrap to the armpit, and my elbow's gonna go above his head. So I can keep the pressure on him, and boom, maybe I stuff his head inside, I sprawl. Pat, like, he was really, really long. I don't really have the longest arms for the weight, but he liked to get a deep chest wrap. And there's often times where he would get his arm all the way across, and he would start looking for the hamstring or the ankle. And even if this guy's off 2 knees and he's looking to get the corner, right? If I'm deep here, when I'm looking for this position and I'm looking to work the chest wrap ankle, the reason why it works is I'm creating a ton of pressure as I square up. See how my hips are out? I want my hips in, and I'm creating a ton of torque with this arm by pulling across like I would have a tight waist, right? When I'm looking to tight waist to turn somebody, get this arm deep, and then once I get all the way across, when I jump to the far side, I don't let my arm slide, because that takes off all the tension and the pressure and control. So when I go deep from the tight waist chop, everything stays tight. Same idea here. I go deep, everything stays tight. I'm looking for the hamstring and ankle. And this leg stays long. If I bend this knee, right, I take off the pressure that I'm applying with my hips, and now I'm not creating length. I'm not getting him long anymore. And I want to keep this pressure and stay as heavy as possible. So I want this leg that he has long, and as I do this, I'm going to pinch my elbows back, and I'm going to pull my chest into his body. So, this is really, really uncomfortable for the bottom guy. It's not the most fun thing to drill because it's a ton of pressure. Here I got a lot of weight. And when I add the chest wrap, and I add the hamstring and the ankle, now I got even more weight. And I become a lot heavier just from how I'm using my arms. Here, yeah, there's a ton of pressure. Okay? I get the chest wrap, hamstring, I can pull and add even more pressure. I figured I had great defense when I got to college. It was really hard to score even when I was a freshman. And so I would end up in a short offensive position at times. Right? I mean, here I would sit back and wouldn't have a lot of offense. Guys would pull the trigger, boom, and I might end up here every single match. So I figured if I can get really world class here in this short offensive position, I can score points on every single person that I wrestle because I know for a fact that I end up in this position at least once every single match. So, and then the other part is just being very fundamentally sound, not really coming out of my stance, and also having a very, very strong hand flexion. Very persistent, where I'm wrestling not just here and I'm just kind of mindlessly putting my hands on somebody. I'm controlling the inside, I have a system, I know where I want to be, I know where I want to spend the majority of the match. And not just that, but I spend a lot of time wrestling in these 50-50 stalls. A lot of times when you're wrestling and you're hand fighting, your opponent's hand fighting your back, he clears tie, boom, you're back inside, he clears your tie, you re-engage. There's a couple moments in the match where you're both just not doing much and you're waiting to feel what the other guy's doing. You're really doing a whole lot. He's not really doing a whole lot. And It's 50-50. I don't have a ton of control, he doesn't have a ton of control. And we're not quite stalling, but we're anticipating, we're sitting and we're waiting and being patient. And so boom, I put my hands on and he wrestles, he moves, controls the tie, I get to my tie, I punch, look, he clears, boom, and now we're just kind of here for a second. Maybe I re-engage, and now we just pause for a second. And I'm waiting to see what he does, he's waiting to see what I do. And then these 50-50 stalls, you feel in between moments is where a lot of wrestling can happen. And so you don't want to be the person that's just sitting back. That's the danger of whenever I close this space and I rotate this knee up, I gotta bring my hips in, but if I don't do this quick enough and I start closing this space, he starts sliding down and he's gonna take his head under. And as he does that, I wanna shoot, cross, and bring this knee inside, okay? One more time. Boom, I'm here, boom. He switches to the ankle here. This hand has to pull. And this knee and hand are gonna shoot. And I'm gonna shift his weight to this side. Boom. So I wanna get his arm roll. Okay, so one more time. Boom, over here. He switches to the ankle. I'm gonna shoot. And I'm gonna drive in the mat to help me move everything to this side. He's wrestling, wrestle, boom. He's gonna come inside. And as it does that, I need to take it to the mat, sprawl. Okay? Questions?
When you go back to the sprawl, you're like when should I take that foot?
Yeah. But worst case scenario, even if I'm on windshield wipe, I just sprawl, spread my hips up, go down and away. And it's 50-50 to go back to our feet. He loses whatever advantage he has, now we're restarting. Okay? So he gets the single leg, boom, I'm here, sides the ankle, knee inside. Worst case scenario, knee comes down. I just want to, because my hips are over here, I got to bring them back. And going to the knee helps me bring it back. And then when I sprawl, it helps me keep them square. Worst case scenario, he backs up, works back to his feet, and this is where we end up. Best case scenario, he gets to a single leg, over here. I get my hips back, I screw my hips up, catch that ankle when I get to this counter. Okay. One more time. Boom, single leg. Right, single leg, he's got my leg, he's got a great bite. So I'm trying to get my leg on, but it's difficult, right? Keep my leg. Boom. So then I'm gonna come here. Threaten this, slice the ankle, knee inside, I'm back to baseline again. So a lot of what I'm doing is just trying to get back to baseline where I'm strong and fundamentally sound. Okay? Questions? Ready, 1, 2. Get my leg back quick enough. I'll take this knee and I'll cover the head. Okay, so he takes this shot, I'll sprawl with him. Start taking the shot. When we take the shot, he's pressing. Boom, I end up here. I'm gonna keep circling as he keeps circling. Trying to find my lock, and if I can, I'm going to start pulling this into my chest, and as I pull this into my chest and body, I'm going to pull in and keep throwing my hips into it even more. So as he keeps starting to get the corner, here, I slide off, okay, switch to my tight waist, right, keep circling around, or as I keep circling around, the lock breaks, right, it starts to pull back and release. I can slide off. Or let's say he wants to just stay really tight. He just pitches his elbows tight to his body and just tries to do everything he can to keep the legs secure. Boom. I'm here. I just keep the head track. I stay right here. If he can't pop his head out, he has to come out the back door. So, in that roll, he's able to pop his head to the outside, or he's able to pop his head far side and cut back. But if I keep his head trapped and I stay tight to his body with my hips, and he's got no space to pop his head up to either side, he's got to come out the back door. Okay? So now we're going to wrestle trying to on the back door. And what I'm going to do is I'm use this lock to help pull my hips back. So I'm sitting here keeping the contract, as I feel it start to elevate, I'm gonna pull in, and as I pull in, I'm gonna start floating my hips back as I feel them in. So, boom, we start to pop up. Oh, once my legs touch the mat again and I've got them long, switch. Boom. He starts to try and get the corner. As he tries to get the corner, I'm gonna take this knee again, and as he keeps progressing the corner, this inside leg is gonna rotate up, and then I'm gonna feed this knee in between his legs. So I'm here, he's trying to get the corner still. Trying to get the corner still. I have to close this gap again, but as I do that, this inside knee, as I close this gap, this inside knee is gonna rotate up, and as he keeps trying to circle, it's almost like, he's like, oh, the leg's up, it's gonna be easy for me to finish. I'm gonna take this knee, slide it, and throw it in between his legs. Throw my hips into the mix. Okay? So I'm here, he takes a single leg, boom, here. As this knee starts to rotate up, I'm gonna pull his chest into my hips, take him through, come back on top of my kid. And if he's fighting really hard, it works really, really well. Okay, boom. Here, my knee's up already. I'm ready for the head pitch here. And if he starts to circle, oh, really. Just one more time. Rest of it. Boom. Close this gap. See how my knee's up? Okay? I might bring it back down, keep circling, because I don't really like now where I was positioned. I wanted to improve my position a little bit more. Get a little bit tired, so just that single leg. Okay, I'm here. This knee's gonna slide between his legs. I'm gonna pop my hips in. Okay, as he circles, oh, pull that arm that's on the far side out from underneath, circle, or I can just let go.